Hey y'all, so I'm going to do an update on this. I've had a lot of questions in the comment section about several different things, but the main thing I wanted to issue is the Tomtom navigation app and how it interfaces and works and how it sounds with audio and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start the car up and we'll take a look at it. One thing I did want to say about the Wi-Fi hotspot, if you're using your phone, the unit really doesn't like to remember to turn it on, if that makes any sense. Like if you, like for instance, I've been keeping my hotspot on for, all the time basically, which really runs my battery down on my phone. But the point of that was to, when I get in the car, it to automatically just connect. So we're loading the Tomtom app right now. I think I had it open last time I powered it down, so you'll just see it open. All right, so here's the brand new Tomtom interface. So first of all, someone was asking, what is it called? So it is called Go. It's called Go, and it's just that's the app, and then you download each map for each area or each country that you want to download. So when you first download it and open it up, then it'll give you an option. Well, do you want to download USA, whatever. One thing I will say about this new app is that it is the amount of memory it takes up, the maps, is a lot more than the old one, and for good reason, because they're much more highly detailed. I mean, you can see, it looks much better. But I just love it so much. I've drove some new cars recently, some brand new cars that have, touch screens in them, and just there is nothing that beats this unit. I mean, it is so fast. Like, even in I've seen some newer, I've driven the new 7 Series, then some of the new Hyundai and Kia products. Like, yeah, they're pinch and zoom, but it is so slow. And this thing is just lightning fast. I can zoom out all the way to the USA if I want, and it's fast. Now, what's interesting, I wanted to tell you about this. So you see that it's not showing the rest of the US. Well, that's because, like I said, the map data is so heavy that I was only able to download this section of the country. So you're definitely going to want to get a micro SD card to put into your map slot to be able to download the whole country. I mean, that's just me. If I ever wanted to drive anywhere, I didn't want to have to wait and download the app. So, because for example, I'm from Alabama, so if I ever wanted to drive back home from Texas, I'd need to download that other section. That means I'd have to get us a card. So, that's the only real drawback I can think of, is that it just it's very heavy on storage and memory and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on some music and then give you an idea of what it does when it gives you directions, and also let you look at the different guidances it gives you, as well as lane guidance and where the traffic would be and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to do that right now. So I'm going to turn on some tunes here, and most people might have the radio on, so we'll just do that. And we'll turn it up. All right, so the radio's on. I'll turn it down so y'all can hear me. So I'm gonna go to the nav. And remember, if you type in what you want your nav to be, so then the Navi button is always attached to that. So I've got the Tomtom attached to the navigation. So not only when I press navigation does it open it up, but also when I press the hard Navi button up here, it opens it up. And to set that, you'll just go into your settings. So then you scroll to GPS application options, and you choose, so you could download any GPS app you want. If you wanted to make it Google Maps, if you're tethering all the time and you like that, then you can do that. All right, so then this is important. So Down here, GPS sound. So this is the prompts in the app that it's going to give you. Do you want it to mix with the music? So that means it's going to dim the music or whatever the sound source is that you're listening to and give you the prompts. Or do you want it to switch, which is where it's going to interrupt or just mute what you have on and tell you the information that you need to know, the prompt, and then go back. On recorded media, I believe the way it behaved last time, like if you have your like a USB drive plugged in or a CD, it'll actually pause it. If you are on like the radio or some type of streaming service, it does not pause. It just goes over it and then continues, as the, so it doesn't stop obviously listening to the radio. So I have it on mixing, and I have it up to the highest level because as you'll hear in a minute, it's actually pretty hard to hear it over the if you have it on mixing, it's pretty hard to hear it over the audio source unless you have the volume at a decent level. I'll show you the GPS monitor too. So this is it's up there, and you can see that my Baylor University parking permit is Roll Tide, by the way. I don't go to school at Baylor. Is actually covering it, so it's actually having to go through that sticker, and it's still getting really good reception. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 satellites. It's very accurate. It says the time according to the satellite too. So if you don't have internet connection, it's a good way to keep your time exactly accurate. And GPS monitoring, you need to have that on because that's how it does this. So we'll go back. All right, so now we'll show you Tomtom itself. So I have the radio on, and I'm going to change the station because it's boring. Let me see what I want to go to. Let's go here. I didn't really show a lot of the radio app too. A couple of new things that's cool is I didn't talk about this. Is that you can actually tune using this if you want to. You get your presets down here. I'm not really sure what that does. Search. So just like you press it, and just like you would in an older car, it's going to search for the next available station. Stop there. If you like it, you press it. If you don't, I'll keep going. So I'm going to try to. All right, here's a country station, whatever. So and I'm going to press now. So now I'm going to do this in a demo mode, so you'll be able to hear it, and I won't have to drive around because honestly, it's going to be too hard to put together. So, all right, sorry about that. So I think I've now got us a route in here that we'll be able to use. So I've set this up to where this looks like this. Look at this interchange. There we go. Okay. So I've set it up to where I don't live in Houston, but I wanted to give you a good idea of how it'll get the lane guidance will get you through. So I've set up a route that is, fake, but I'm going to do the demo mode here, and I wanted to show you. So over here it gives you how long it's going to take to get there, 19 minutes, 11 miles. And then if you had it tethered, it'll give you traffic information right here. And so folks were asking about the Tomtom app, and they were, a lot of people have been. I got the app for free because I had the old Tomtom app, and they had an offer where they said, hey, you can upgrade to Go for free. This is more of an app. This is more of a subscription-based app. Instead of paying like a boatload of money, like $40, $50 up front, you pay for 6 months or a year. You get unlimited map updates, and then you also have to pay separately for the traffic. I think it's still worth it. I think it's a pretty good buy. Like I said, you just have to take into consideration, these factory units where the maps, you have to go into a dealer and pay them and get them upgraded and everything. I mean, if you have this tethered to your phone, or you're able to get to your internet connection at your house, you can update the maps every 3 to 4 months and have up-to-date maps perfectly. So now we're going to turn up the volume and take you on this demo route, and you'll be able to hear how it cuts in and out. So as I said, my thoughts on it is that it's not loud enough. And I think that has more to do with the Tomtom app itself than anything else, because you can adjust the volume in here, and as you can see, mine is all the way up. Did you hear how it interrupted the radio right there? Let me turn it up a little bit more. See there? Alright, so I'm going to turn it up and we're going to start the demo. I guess for some reason it won't let me, it actually won't let me start at a certain city or spot, so I just have to do it from my current location. So hopefully it'll give you some lane guidance here. So I'm going to turn the radio up.
1/4 mile, turn left, Interstate 35 south, towards Waco. Turn left.
Carrie Underwood, and do you hear what I hear? Here's Paul Overstreet with one of our most requested Christmas songs every year, and Merry Christmas, Mary.
After 1/4 mile, keep left, then take the freeway. Keep left, then take the freeway. After 1 mile, take the exit right, Interstate 35 south, towards Marlin.
It was almost midnight before he found a place to stay.
So she's got the...
After 1/2 mile, take the exit right, 330A. Take the exit right, 330A.
To comfort her as she went through the pain of giving life.
After 1/2 mile, take the exit right, Highway 340, towards Marlin. Then, at the end of the road, turn right. Take the exit right, then, at the end of the road, turn right. After 1/4, at the end of the road, turn right.
And he said, Merry Christmas, Mary. Let me be the first to
Follow Highway 340, South Loop 340, towards Bryan, for 6 miles.
So as you can see, it comes over the audio pretty well, but it does not completely, in my opinion, it doesn't bring it down enough, especially when you're at lower volumes like this right here. You know, if you're having it at a normal volume, where you're talking to your passenger, you can't really hear it too well. So that's the only drawback I would say. But other than that, I mean, as you can see, it is so smooth. That's another thing that I love about it. You know, on the old Tomtoms, it would, you know, kind of herk and jerk as you went. But so down here, you got your current roads run Loop 340 up here. I really like this. It's just such a slick interface. It's so modern looking. And you can see a minute ago you saw in the lane guidance that it has the 2 arrows. So according to how many lanes are on the road, you know, it could have 4 or 5 arrows, and it tells you which lane you need to be in. And then it also gives you the lane guidance as well when you get off. Depending on how fast you are going, it'll also give you side streets, as you saw when I was on our Sun Valley Boulevard coming onto the interstate. It just depends on how fast you're going. And see, this is South University Parks Drive. So it will pop up cross streets as you're going along, but it just depends on how fast you're going as to how many of those it's going to come up on.
let us be the first to say, Merry Christmas, Mary, the Son of God.
After 1/2 mile, turn right, Highway 484, eastbound, Highway 6, eastbound, towards Bryan.
Joy were gently flowing
Turn right.
Joseph's eyes, while up above the angels sang, glory to God. Merry Christmas.
Follow Highway 484, eastbound, Highway 6, eastbound, East State Highway 6, towards Bryan, for 125 miles.
So yeah, that gives you an idea of the navigation. I wish I could have done it in a bigger city, so like I've showed you better lane guidance, but it won't allow you to do that. It starts from your current destination to do it won't let you do the demo unless it does it from the current destination, at the current where you are. So clear that out. I'll take y'all through the app itself. So when you first turn on the unit, this is what you'll see: a 2D high look map. What you call this, like a overlook map, heads up, I guess. Interesting thing about this is you're driving along, it's always going to be facing due north. So for an example, like if I were to start driving like on Hewitt Drive, it's going to show me like going up this road, and the map will move along with you, but it does not like it doesn't rotate. And you can see 3D by pressing the that right there, and this will not allow you to yes it will. It doesn't let you rotate, but we'll let you zoom out a little bit. So you can see it's very fluid. I don't know if I can zoom out any more than that. It's about as far out as I can zoom. Love how the street names are on there. It just looks very nice. You can see it's very fast. The map rendering's fast. So we'll go through the little menu here. So you have search, where you would search for your points of interest, your destination. Another cool thing that's been added here is that there is no type the street name and then type the number. I'm gonna mute this. So you just literally type an address in. So if I want to type in like 555 Main Street, see it automatically just populates and pops up according to where you are. And you can set this to the whole map and a town or a city, which is what I did, and you can also do lat long as well. Points of interest is the same way. You no longer have categories. You can either search by the name of the category, so I can type in shopping center, and then it will give me all of the shopping centers that are near my location. Or I could type in, back up here, I can type in Best Buy. Keyboard, as you can see, very responsive. And there's the Best Buy that's nearest to here. It doesn't give you a phone number or anything like that if you want to call, which to me doesn't really bother me. You can add it to my places, so it's like a favorite. You can hit more information. Oh, it does have their phone number. So there you go. So it doesn't give you like I said, it doesn't give you a category. The helpful ones though are here. So if you scroll over, it gives you parking and gas stations, which to me are the most two important ones. So if you hit gas stations, it will find all of the gas stations within a certain area, and then you can zoom in to wherever you want and pick one. So if I want to pick this one, the Sefco. So there you go. You can also do it by a list instead of by the map view. I'll show you all the gas stations near you, which I think is pretty cool. So those two are helpful. Same thing with parking. So let me take you through the menu here. So search is where you do your destination, your points of interest. Drive home, you set that to your home location. You just press this, and then wherever you are, it will drive you home immediately. I think that's cool. That's like right there on the home screen. I think that's really cool. Recent destinations will tell you your recent destinations. Current route will give you options for the current route, so you can clear the route, find an alternative, avoid blocked road. Pretty much all the same ones. People also like to do this so they can see, is this going to take me the way I want to go? Add stop to route is pretty cool because you can then add something else. You just hit search, do the same thing, address, point of interest, or contacts, and then you can add a stop to the route. You can add it to my routes, then you have a list of favorites. Change route, you won't be doing that because you are not going to be walking. It does have this eco-friendly route, which is pretty interesting. I've never actually tried that. Excuse me. So I would assume that it's going to find the road maybe with the lowest speed limit or something like that. Oops. And then while I'm sitting here, you can see along the, so this is your route right here. So it'll show you gas stations. You can also add other things to this, but I just like the gas stations because it keeps it simple. And then also your traffic will appear here. So this is kind of like your progress bar. So if I press this gives me my gas stations that are along my route. So if you click one, then it brings it up and you can drive to it. So it's pretty cool. Like for example, if you're driving along the interstate and you say, oh, I need to get gas, well, you just press one of these that's nearest to your arrow and you'll be able to immediately navigate to wherever that gas station is right off the interstate, which I think is pretty cool. So my places is that's where you save things. My routes, I just said that. There's the parking report safety camera that has to be connected to the internet. This does not have TomTom map share, so you can't like report speed limits or problems with roads or things like that really. It doesn't really let you do that, which I don't like. Then there's upgrade. So as you can see right now, my subscription is unlimited navigation until 6/1/2018 because I was able to, like I said, get the promo with the old TomTom USA app that was on here, that I had on here, that I paid almost $40 for it. So it's really nice that they gave me that. And if you have the old app on your device, even if it's on your iPhone and you're watching this, I highly recommend you go and take a look at it, at this app, because you'll be able to upgrade and get the much better interface. Support. So this is just giving you a little, I've never actually really looked at this. So when you download the app, if you just download it, you get 60 miles of free navigation every month. And then if you want to drive more than that, then you have to pay. There's the, as I said, the easy upgrade, unlimited to whenever you want, for as long as you need. This is the most important thing about this, is it has offline maps. And, you know, people have made the argument, well, I use my phone and it gets me where I want to go. But, you know, I really don't buy that. I've used my phone before to get to places, and what phone apps do is they try to load as much of the route as possible. So if you're going on a short route, yeah, it'll be fine. But if you're going on a long route where there might be no cell phone reception for a long time, it might be a problem for you. Download at least 4 full map updates every year for the life of your app, if you're subscribed. So there you go. And then you have the settings. So the appearance, theme color. You can choose all your different, I have it on blue. You have all the different colors if you want. Switch to night colors when dark, that does it automatically. The route bar. So arrival information, you can show remaining distance, which is what I do. And then final destination. Route information. So this is where you can turn it on. So if you wanted to, I have it on to say parking, gas stations, and stops. And turn on rest areas too. And you can show the current time, but I have that off because you have it up there, kind of clogs the bar. So in your guidance view, show current street name, definitely want that on. In your guidance view, you can set it to auto to 3D or 2D in direction of travel, so the map will actually swivel for you. Automatic zoom, that's cool. You saw it did that when I was showing you the demo. So it will zoom in on your next turn. You can do it based on road type as well. So if you're on an interstate, it's going to zoom completely out no matter what happens. If you're going to go on an exit or interchange or anything like that, I like it on next turn. That's pretty cool. Automatic map view switching. That is where it'll switch between the 2D and the 3D when you go to a route, but there is no way to default it to the 3D when you start up the app, which is pretty much a main complaint. Voices, there is only a couple of voices that are computer voices that you can download on there and download on here and have it read the street names and things like that. There are other, a ton of other voices, but they're just, turn left, turn right. It doesn't actually say the street names here. A little bit limited there. This is where it tells you, whatever, read or whatever directions out loud. Here's the map section. So I have downloaded USA West, South, Central. So if you wanted to download another map, then that's where you would do that at. route planning. So this is asking you faster route. This would be if when you have traffic hooked up and it senses a delay, it'll say, hey, you can go on a faster route. And if you want to default avoid certain things, like for example, if you never want to go in carpool lanes or you never want to go in toll roads, you can turn that on. Normally it will prompt you and say this, you know, just like your old TomTom toll charge, or, you know, those carpool lanes or whatever. Do you want to include those units? If you like them, you can change them. Or in the background, you want that on. And that's pretty much it. So that's the TomTom app. Like I said, I know a lot of people have been asking about it. It's a great app. I highly recommend it. It will do so much more than, you know, Google Maps or things like that, because it just has a great interface. It's very, very user friendly as far as, you know, the layout of everything. It's just so bold. They've done, you know, really good typefaces. So it's, you know, like I said, it's really easy to look at, which is what I really like. And I'm going to go back and play this preview again just to tell you where everything is. So your next navigation prompt is up here. Speed limit is here, your current speed, and then the current road that you're on. Direction of travel is right here. You can zoom in and out of the map manually if you want. There's the time of your arrival and how long it's going to take you to get to the destination. There was a couple of other things I think some other people had addressed. Like for example, some guy was like, where do you put your climate control? Well, you put it down here. And you can get the official relocation kit from Tisher or a couple of other places. It's pretty expensive, so I really wouldn't. I don't think I'm gonna. I mean, I'm probably gonna get rid of this car in the next year and a half to 2 years. So, I really am. It's not a huge deal for me. I mean, the homemade thing where you take the piece from where the cubby was before, and you put this in here, and I probably should glue it to give it a more of a factory look, but it sits in there fine. It's not a huge deal, and then this closes just fine. So, you know, I don't really have any complaints about that. Somebody had asked me about, does it show your, I can't get to it because I'm not hooked up, but does it show, like when you Bluetooth in, does it show for Pandora or for, you know, Spotify or whatever, does it show the name of the artist and all the song information? And the answer to that is no, it does not. It'll just literally show like a music icon. So if you want that full experience, you're gonna have to download the app on here to show it. So I highly recommend getting a SD card, micro SD card. If you're going to be talking on the phone with it a lot, I would also recommend that you definitely put in your external mic up here. My car, as you can see, does not have the spot for it, so I don't know where I would run it to. I might even buy a smaller mic, but it's cool because it's only a 3.5 millimeter, you know, normal headphone jack on the end of the microphone that came with it, so you could go and buy any microphone you wanted. You know, if it was small enough, and run it through. So yeah, the mic here is not really sufficient. If you put your mouth close up to it, you can talk, but yeah, it's not really sufficient. And then the SD card here works well. I've played media on that. It works well. Also the USB hookup. I've hooked it up to a flash drive before. Works flawlessly. Works great. And then I also use Waze a lot. I really use that. If I know where I'm going, I'll hook my phone up to Bluetooth. I mean, to the hotspot and use Waze, just because I like Waze a lot. It'll reroute you around any kind of problems that you might come across. So it's pretty cool in that regard. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it, everybody. I will say too, the Waze app does a little bit of a better job at coming over the music, because I guess the volume, you know, is higher in there, so you can actually hear it a little bit better. So it just depends on the app, but I rather would have the interface, the TomTom interface, versus, you know, something that can talk to me a little bit better. So that's just how I feel about it. So anyways, I hope this was helpful to you guys, and if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. But that's it. I really haven't had any other problems with it other than that. I mean, it really hasn't done anything out of the ordinary. It hasn't had any hiccups or any problems. But I'm thinking about trying out a hotspot, like a hotspot that is, I can somehow like hook up to my power source only, so it's charging only when I turn the car on, but it's charging all the time, so I don't have to worry about tethering it to my phone, because it is a little bit annoying. You know, when I start the car, I want to go into Waze or I want to go into Pandora or whatever, and it's really just time consuming. It takes too much time, so I have to turn the phone off, turn it back on, all that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, leave me any comments. Talk to you soon.